It's very difficult to make people understand this disease. I feel like in 16 years trying to explain it to people, there's really very few people that truly understand it.
They can't imagine the pain unless you've gone through it. It's unbearable.
There's really no explaining it. Just come down to your knees, pain.
Imagine a toothache, except that that toothache is in your face and in your head, and it's there every day.
Feeling of like electric lightning bolts that come through my face. They go from my ear to my eye to my jaw.
It literally feels like the side of my face is splitting open or an ice pick is being pierced through my head.
Light can set it off, noise can set it off. The most heartbreaking thing right now is my kindergartner's voice can set it off.
You're so exhausted, and it just keeps happening over and over. It's like Groundhog Day.
When people see me, they say, well, you look great, and you just want to say to them, well, I feel like I'm dying inside.
When you're in constant pain and then always fearing when the pain will become worse, there's always that anxiety when I make plans.
Without it, I was fearless. I could go anywhere, do anything.
It's causing a real issue as far as advancing in school. I've probably missed about 60 to 65% of extracurricular and school time.
I'm not currently working. I'm a teacher, and having TN, my pain is too bad that I can't actually be in the classroom.
Emotionally, I've been in the inpatient quite a few times because the pain, I couldn't bear it anymore, and I didn't want to anymore.
I am a young woman that, thought I was going to have a pretty normal life, and I have many years to live with this, so that's very troublesome.
So I was diagnosed March 7th of 2015, and from that day forward, I pretty much lost everything. In the matter of a year, I lost all my savings. I had to give up my apartment. I lost my car. I stopped driving. Sorry. I just lost me.
I just want to encourage my fellow sufferers that there is hope, and even though that appears like there isn't, there is.
I first had the symptoms start in 1993. I was 19. I did not get a diagnosis until 20 years later in 2003.
I was misdiagnosed with MS. They said at one point it could possibly be TMJ.
I did go to the dentist, and they looked at everything and they said I was completely fine and most likely just needed to floss more, take better care of my teeth.
3 root canals. I've had like septoplasty. I don't know the amount of antibiotics I've taken because they kept telling me sinus infections.
I can't even count how many people in the medical profession that just don't have the slightest idea what this disease is.
I've been able to fly around the country and visit some of the specialists, but then I would bring that information back to Chicago, and doctors would not agree or fill prescriptions.
You start to doubt yourself because so many other people have doubted you. So many doctors doubt you.
Sometimes in my head I feel like I'm making it up, because how could something be so horrible? And when you live with pain constantly, it starts driving you crazy.
I've tried 29 different medications, either individually or in combinations. The side effects tend to be very debilitating.
When I'm on medications, a lot of my personality can be affected, and I'll be really drowsy, and I got dizzy spells on some.
When I would drive my youngest daughter to preschool, it was only a 10-minute drive, and I would end up driving off the road at least 5 to 6 times.
I couldn't go anywhere without someone being with me because I would collapse in a grocery store, I'd get disoriented, I didn't know where I was half a block away from my home.
I can't remember words. Sometimes when I'm in a conversation with somebody and they usually have to fill in the blank for me.
Trigeminal neuralgia has very limited surgical options, and those surgical options are highly invasive and can often result in worse pain.
Unfortunately, that did happen to me. I'm in continuous pain every day. It's constant pain, burning pain in my gums and in my cheek.
It took away part of the pain for about 8 months, but during that process, they actually paralyzed my left vocal cord.
I had the balloon compression surgery, and that was successful. My doctor said, you know, it could come back, and that's always hanging over me.
To keep trying and not having any relief, that is the most frustrating thing, and people keep thinking that I'm not trying hard enough. Then you give up because you go and you hear the same old story like, I'm sorry you're in so much pain, but there's nothing I can do for you.
It's been around forever, and we're still dealing with this, trying to get awareness out there. It's an area that is in desperate need of help.
I think my life would be drastically different without TN. I wouldn't have the constant worry and anxiety over when the next unbearable pain attack may come.
I would have my life back. That's all I dream of. That's all I want every day. I want my life back.
I'd be able to go out with my friends more often, I'd be able to learn, I'd be able to focus, I'd be able to just have more fun.
The most important part for me is that my kids' lives would be different. They wouldn't have to tiptoe around me when my head hurts. They wouldn't have to turn the TV down because the cartoons are too loud for mommy.
I do have some people who don't quite understand what TN is, especially because they may not see the attacks or see me in pain, so they kind of question whether or not I really have an illness.
I feel like I can't express how painful it is or what I'm going through because I'm sure people are sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of talking about it.
If you know somebody that has it, just to be compassionate and be there for them, just to know that if they're not showing up to something, it's not because they don't want to be there, it's not because they don't love you, it's because they just can't be there.
We're in a fight, and that fight is one where we need new weapons. And those weapons are going to be developed by research through organizations like the Facial Pain Research Foundation.
I do have faith in the Facial Pain Research Foundation. For a long time, I didn't have faith in much of anything for this, but I know it's going to happen, and I look forward to the day that it does, and we're going to help make that happen.